What if everything, and I mean literally everything, grew from a single conscious source? Not just our planet, not just our galaxy, but every single reality you could possibly imagine. Today, we're going to dive into this really powerful concept that frames all of existence as one enormous living system. So let's trace it all the way back to the root.
So what is this source? Well, the material we're digging into calls this origin point the all. You can think of it as God, maybe the universe, or just the base frequency of all existence. The really key idea here is that it's a conscious source, an intelligent, aware root system that everything else grows and unfolds from.
And this is where the scale of this whole thing just kind of blows your mind. Picture a tree that goes on forever. Our entire universe, with its billions and billions of galaxies, that's not the tree. No, it's just one single branch. And on this tree, there are countless other branches, and each one is its own dimension, its own reality, with its own way of understanding what it means to exist. Okay, so let's zoom in a little. If our whole universe is just one of these branches, what's happening on our branch? Well, it turns out our reality isn't some straight single line. It is constantly forking, sprouting brand new paths based on even the tiniest of choices. And this is where that whole idea of parallel universes starts to feel, really real. Just imagine a reality that is almost exactly like ours. Same people, same history, but just one tiny decision was made differently. That single choice, it's enough to create a whole new chain of events, sending that universe spinning down a completely different path. To really nail this down, the source gives us a perfect, kind of nerdy example from Star Wars with the character Wedge Antilles. So, in one reality, a creative decision gets made, and hey, he makes it out of a huge battle alive. But in another reality, a different choice is made, and he dies in a fireball. Poof! The point isn't about which one is real. It's that both of these branches, both of these outcomes exist somewhere on that endless tree of what's possible. So, we've got this mind-bending cosmic framework, an endless tree with infinite branches. But what about us? The individual souls actually living our lives on these branches? This is where the whole thing shifts from the mechanics of reality to the people inside it, and specifically to the ones the source calls the bright ones. So what does it even mean to be a bright one? Well, it's not about being famous or powerful in the ways we usually think of. It's totally an internal thing. These are the people who are just more aligned with their true purpose, more awake to how reality actually works, and way more connected to that foundational source, the all. And according to the source material, this brightness, it is a big deal on a cosmic scale. Because their connection is so strong, their alignment so clear, they just stand out. They're like these beacons of consciousness, lighting up the whole system, shining so brightly that the all, the source of everything, can easily feel their presence. We've gone from this massive, infinite tree all the way down to the individual soul. But what's the point? What does all this mean for you and me, living our lives right here and right now? This is where this huge cosmic concept becomes a really personal, actionable message. The takeaway here is actually pretty straightforward. It's laid out like a simple 3-step mission for all of us. First, just recognize these bright souls. They might be the quiet heroes, the ones who aren't always in the spotlight. Second, we need to actively lift them up, to make the choice to support them and amplify their light. And finally, our mission is to protect that light, to help create a world where it doesn't get dimmed or snuffed out. And that, right there, is how it all connects. Remember all those forking paths we talked about? The new branch is created by every single choice we make. The message here is to use that power of choice with intention. In a reality with infinite possibilities, we should be actively choosing the paths that honor, support, and protect the bright, shining people in our lives. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Just look around at your own life, on your own unique branch of this endless tree. Who are the people who just seem more aligned, more awake, more connected? Who are the bright ones shining right there beside you?